Hello everyone, I'm Debbie Polachek. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making a box like the one you see me have in my hand right here. If you want to avoid the decorating of this box, just move your video up to 1 minute and 45 seconds. Do the same thing on this one, it's just that I'm going to change the colors up, okay? Poinsettia Place Designer Series paper. And it's got a lot of different poinsettias and berries and holly and stuff like that. All very beautiful paper. And on this one I did use soft suede lid and this designer series paper, the poinsettias. This one I'll be using this one, and I made red poinsettias, and I will have a video for that. How the difference of the coloring is all that is going to be in this video, is how to color these and how to do the foiling on the edges here. Okay, so and on this one I used this real pretty lace from the big catalog. It's called scalloped lace trim, and it's in the very vanilla. That's what I used here. This one I'm going to be using, this is in the Christmas catalog, and it's real red sheer ribbon. In the gold glitter, I thought it looked prettier with the foil centers. Here I made 3 of these from the poinsettia set, and 2 of the bigger flowers, which is the large, medium, and the small flower. Okay, now for the box itself, what I'm going to do is I cut a piece of paper. This will hold 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch cards, the little note cards, and in order to make the base, I cut a piece. The box itself is cut by 8.5 by 8.5, and then I scored it at 2 inches all the way around. That's for the box. For the lid, cut your cardstock 5 5/8 by 5 5/8. It's scored at 1/2 inch all the way around. Box itself, I want to reinforce it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over so I can see this real good, and I'm going to cut some of the extra thick cardstock to line this with. I could use some of that white kind of a backing paper that is on some of the paper. It's more like a poster board weight. That would be good on this, but either one, so whatever one you have. Now, there's 2 ways you can do this. You can measure it, or you can just lay it on your paper and mark it. Okay, for most of us, it's probably just easier to mark it. And what I'm looking for is these little wells, the little wells that comes up when you do your scoring. I'm looking to put this paper, let me mark those wells real quick. Okay, now I'm looking to put this paper right inside those wells, and then I'll mark my paper right at that. Now this is a square, so it'll be the same on both sides. So I can just stick it right back in here and mark it right there. I know this one would be the same width as this, and so will this one. So we'll see how far we can get. Like, just lay this out here. Go ahead and mark this. And now when I cut this, I'll see how long that is. See, this is 1 14/16. So okay, so there's 4 of those for the sides and the bottom. Now I could do the same thing for my lid if I want it reinforced too, but I'm not. Like I said, I think the cardstock is thick enough. This designer series paper is a thinner paper than the cardstock. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on 2 sides, and I'm going to go ahead and cut each of the score lines to the first score line. Hard to see this paper. On each side. I'm going to take it and cut wedges on each one of those pieces. Okay. Go ahead and give those a good fold. That's prepared. Let's go ahead and do the same thing to this one, just like we did that one. Cut the ends on two of the sides. And then do the little wedges here. I do have my hot glue gun warming up, and I think it's hot already. Okay, now on the sides that aren't the tabs, just the flat side, I'm going to take two of my ribbons. I think I told you I cut ribbons the length of this, 4 of them. I'm going to take two of my ribbons that are does not have the tab, and just put a little dot of glue in the center, and I mean very small dot of hot glue right there in the center. I just want enough of it to hold that down. Now a glue dot would have worked good for that too, but since this ribbon's kind of transparent, it will not, it will be sticky on the outside of that. And I want it very small just so you can't see the glue so much. The least glue you use, the better it will be. Okay. Now if you get this glue in the wrong spot, you can heat it back up again with your heating tool, your embossing tool, and move that if you need to. That's one good thing about using hot glue. You can maneuver it with the embossing tool just by heating it up again. Now this part I'm going to go ahead and push real hard. Try to get that as flat as I can. Now if you can get by without doing the glue in the middle there, go ahead and do that. I'm not real sure about this ribbon. I know the other ribbon I really needed to, because it kind of sagged. This one might not really sag, I don't know. But the other one you couldn't see as much of it through the ribbon like this one you can't either, so just see if it's going to be worth it to I'll try it on this next one and see if I have to have the glue in the center. I am squeezing that down as hard as I can because I want it flat as I can get it. And if this looks like it's hanging over so much that it's going to show from the other side, which this one probably will, you could trim that if you didn't put too much glue on there. Just trim that off to what the width of that is. This one might be over a little bit, but I'm going to have to leave it because it's glued. Okay, let's try and do this one. And this one, all you have to do is put the glue on each end on the tab itself. Okay. Yeah, it looks like this ribbon will hold up fine without the glue in the center. Yes, it will do fine. Now all we're going to do is go ahead and trim these a bit too. Now I'm going to take these and I'm going to make sure that this corner is flush with this corner, this engraved, this embossed corner. I mean this scored corner here. Take a dab of glue, not too much. And then again, I'm going to squeeze it real tight when I get it there. Let that cool for a second. And then move on to the next. And we'll decorate that in a minute. Now for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to glue these three here, not the one, this is where the tabs glue into. We're going to leave those vacant for right now, but we're going to glue all three of these. So we'll have the big one in the middle and then two of the smaller ones here. And I will just use my regular multi-glue here and just put some glue . On each one of these panels. And again, I'm going to make sure that that's in between those wells. So that's all the way to the edge and in between those wells. So I'm going to move this one down a little bit because it needs to be more in the center of that. Okay. Now I'm going to get some clothespins. And I'm going to go ahead and glue these corners here. Again, so that's level with this is level with that. Lines up with that fold very nicely. If you don't line that up good, well, or if you don't, if you slouch it out too much, your lid won't fit. So you have to be careful with that. More pins here. Okay. Now I'm going to do that again. Same thing on this side. Now I'm going to take my bone folder and just squeeze this down, make sure it's attached very well. Same on the other side. Now I'll take my other two pieces and glue those in. Okay, there's our box. And see, it's a lot sturdier if it was just the paper itself. Okay, now we're going to take our, I think a 17-inch. I'm going to do it just like I did the other one. I think that was about 17 inches that I used. Okay, I promise.
Go look outside, you say that same promise.
I promise.
Yeah. Seeing is believing, I always said. You want that light on? I'll leave it on if you want to know.
Thank you.
Huh?
Be fine. I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half. One end's got a little pretty tail on it. I'll put a tail on the other one. something like that. Put a pretty nice sized blob of glue right here. Kind of down off the center a little bit. And this one will go right on top of it. About half of it overlapping. There we go. I'll just take my little twigs. Okay, well, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoy it, and hope to be seeing you again soon. Bye bye for now.